everything is fine. Take a moment to perform a silent inventory of your life. From the outside, you are functioning. You have achieved a level of stability that would have been indistinguishable from a miracle to any generation that came before you. You have shelter that maintains a constant temperature. You have a refrigerator filled with calories. You have access to the sum total of human knowledge in the palm of your hand. You wake up, you work, you respond to notifications, you scroll, you sleep. The metrics of your life are stable. Your pulse is steady. Your career path is visible. Your social standing is curated and maintained. By every objective measure of the modern world, the check engine light should be off. And yet, there is a hum. It is a low-frequency static in the back of your mind, a quiet absence, a sense that life is happening at a distance, that the world is moving, but it isn't touching you. It isn't the sharp, recognizable pain of tragedy, nor the heavy weight of clinical sadness. It is something harder to name. It is a flatness, a hollowness, a sense that you are an actor who has memorized all the lines but has forgotten why the play was written in the first place. This emptiness is confusing precisely because there is no obvious cause. There is no crisis to point to, no clear loss to mourn, and this makes the question feel like a betrayal. If nothing is wrong, why do you feel like something essential is gone? The answer is not found in your psychology, but in your architecture. You are currently witnessing a total mismatch between your ancient biological hardware and the modern operating system you are trying to run. You aren't broken. You are simply optimized into a state of decay. We have been lied to about the nature of meaning. We are taught that meaning is a luxury, a philosophical cherry on top that you pursue once you've secured your food, your safety, and your high-speed internet. We treat purpose as an aesthetic choice, like the color of your curtains. This is a catastrophic misunderstanding of human biology. Meaning is not a choice. It is a biological requirement. It is the existential firmware that keeps your hardware from crashing. To the human brain, meaning is not a thought. It is a neurochemical buffer. It is the operating system that regulates your stress response, your immune system, and your will to live. For 300,000 years, your ancestors survived because they were pattern-seeking mammals. They survived because they saw the pattern of the tiger in the long grass before the tiger saw them. But this hardware has a side effect. It cannot handle randomness. To your brain, randomness equals danger. When things happen for no reason, when life feels like a series of disjointed, chaotic events, your cortisol levels spike. You enter a state of high alert. To solve this, the brain performs a process called patternicity. It connects dots that aren't there. It sees faces in clouds, signs in coincidences, and destiny in random meetings. Meaning is simply the name we give to a stable pattern. Your brain doesn't actually care if the pattern is objectively true. It only cares that the pattern is consistent. Whether it is a religion, a political ideology, or a deep commitment to a craft, the brain uses these stories to suppress the death signal. When you have a why, your prefrontal cortex sends signals to the amygdala to be quiet. It dampens the pain response. It boosts the immune system. In the 1940s, psychiatrist Viktor Frankl observed this in the concentration camps. The prisoners who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or the healthiest. They were the ones who possessed a why. Meaning acted as a biological painkiller. This is why people can endure meaningful suffering, like raising a child or training for a marathon, with a smile. But they crumble under meaningless stress, like an office job with no visible output. If the why is strong enough, the brain mutes the body's signals of exhaustion. Meaning is the ultimate performance-enhancing drug, and we are currently living through a global famine of it. Modern emptiness doesn't arrive through catastrophe. It arrives through optimization. Life has been made smoother, safer, and more efficient than ever before. We have spent the last century systematically removing friction from the human experience. Discomfort has been minimized. Waiting has been eliminated. Silence has been filled. Everything is available, yet nothing is required. And that is the structural flaw in our world. The human mind was never designed for a world without friction. Meaning does not emerge from comfort. It emerges from resistance. It emerges from the tension between who you are and the difficulty of what you are trying to achieve. In earlier times, emptiness had a shape. It was hunger, fear, or uncertainty. It was a physical lack that demanded a physical response. Today, emptiness is ambient. It is the background music of your life. It is the result of a world that removed hardship without replacing it with purpose. We have optimized the struggle out of our days, but the struggle was where the meaning lived. When life stops asking anything of you, your inner world goes quiet. Not a peaceful quiet, but a vacant one. You are busy, but not engaged. Connected, but not grounded. Informed, but not oriented. Because the nervous system is receiving too much input, endless scrolls, infinite notifications, constant noise, without any of it having a deeper pattern or purpose, it does the only thing it can do to survive. It numbs. Numbness is not a failure. It is a defense mechanism. When the hardware is overloaded with meaningless data, it reduces its sensitivity. You don't feel joy deeply, but you also don't feel despair. You don't feel passion, but you also don't feel pain. This emotional flattening feels safe and stable, but safety without purpose is just a slower version of death. There is another layer to this quiet collapse. Modern life constantly mirrors you back to yourself through a series of digital metrics. Your worth is no longer felt, it is monitored. You have likes, views, performance reviews, and step counters. You have stopped being someone and have started managing someone. You have become the PR manager for your own identity. We call this the identity dashboard. You aren't living a life, you are monitoring a project. When identity becomes a project to be optimized instead of a process to be experienced, something vital is lost. You create a distance between yourself and the world. You are watching the dials of your life rather than feeling the wind on your face. This distance creates a void. And this is why standard advice, be grateful, think positive, find a passion, rarely helps. These platitudes assume that emptiness is a personal defect, a software bug in your personality. It isn't. It is a structural condition. You are adapted to a world that replaced depth with speed and silence with noise. You aren't broken. You are a meaning-seeking missile in a world that has removed all the targets. To understand how to move forward, we have to recognize that we live in what philosophers call intersubjective reality. Most of the things you find meaningful, your country, your money, your career goals, don't actually exist in the physical world. If every human died tomorrow, the United States, the value of the dollar, and your brand identity would vanish instantly. They are shared myths. For most of human history, these myths were handed to you. You were a farmer. You served a specific god. You belonged to a specific tribe. The system wrote the script for you, and your brain was happy because it had a stable pattern to follow. Now, we have infinite choice. We are told we can be anything, do anything, and believe anything. But when you have too many stories to choose from, you experience existential overload. The hardware crashes. You stop believing in any story, and the meaning engine stalls. This is the root cause of the modern epidemic of anxiety. It is not a chemical imbalance, it is a story deficit. We are currently participating in a massive, multiplayer meaning game where the rules keep changing. The people who win this game aren't the ones who find the true meaning of life, because objectively, the universe is a cold, indifferent vacuum. The people who win are the ones who understand that meaning is something you write, not something you find. The reason you feel empty, even when you succeed, is due to the dopamine of progress. We are taught that we will be happy when we arrive, when we get the promotion, the house, the partner. But your brain doesn't actually release the most dopamine when you win. It releases it when you are approaching a win. This is why retirement depression is so common. When you arrive at your goal, the dopamine stops. The hunt is over, so the meaning disappears. To keep the hardware engaged, you have to realize that meaning isn't a destination. It's the distance between where you are and where you've decided you're going. To keep the anxiety alarm from going off, you must always maintain a meaning gap. You must always be 10% away from a goal that matters to you. Your brain needs a mission. If the world doesn't give you one, you must self-author one. You have to pick a useful fiction, a craft, a family, a community, a vision, and commit to it as if it were the absolute truth. Your brain doesn't have a truth checker. It only has a utility checker. If a belief makes you more resilient, more focused, and more engaged with reality, your brain tags it as true. So, we return to the beginning. Nothing is wrong. You are safe. You are fed. You are fine. And that is precisely why you feel like you are disappearing. The unsettling truth is that emptiness isn't asking to be filled with more stuff, more entertainment, or more optimization. It is asking to be understood as a signal. It is a sign that your life has become too smooth, too buffered, and too far removed from the friction that makes a human being feel real. Emptiness is the absence of necessity. It is the feeling of being a high-performance engine running in neutral. You don't need to fix your life. You need to reintroduce friction. You need to trade some of your comfort for a story that demands something of you. You need to stop being a seeker of meaning and start being an author of it. The universe is silent. It has no script for you. This can be a source of terror, or it can be the ultimate freedom. You are the protagonist of a story that hasn't been written yet. Pick a story. Make it a good one. Make it a story that makes you strong and makes the world around you feel a little less like a hallucination. Your brain doesn't care if it's a fiction. It only cares if it works. Nothing is wrong. And that is the most honest starting point there is.